Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. Great to have you with us for our first NBC weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Great to have you with us. And obviously it's a big sports weekend. LSU and Arkansas today, afternoon game, and the Tigers prohibitive favorites to beat a team that really has done nothing in the SEC this year under Brett Bielema.
0-7 in the league, lost in overtime in Little Rock to Mississippi State last weekend, while LSU, surprisingly, if you will, steamrolled Texas A&M. Maybe not the win or loss result surprising, but just the way it happened and with the emphasis that it happened, that LSU was able to get it. LSU still in the hunt for a possible BCS berth. They are still one of the teams that are under consideration. I think it's a long shot at best. But if you take care of business and some crazy things happen, who knows what might end up happening in that regard.
Tulane, of course, on the road at Rice. They still have hopes of winning Conference USA or getting to the championship game, but they need some help. First things first, they've got to beat a good Rice team on the road that's favored to beat them.
Yeah, it's interesting that the two games are going to be going on at the same time, Tulane-Rice and the other game, UTSA against Louisiana Tech. Tulane needs help from their in-state brethren up in Ruston, need a win. If Tulane can win, Louisiana Tech can win. Tulane will play the winner of Friday's game between Marshall and East Carolina for the Conference USA Championship a week from now. But like you say, first things first, you got to take care of business against a Rice team that likes to run the football. They are number one in Conference USA in rushing. Tulane is number 2 in the league against the run. And you got to give credit to the defensive front that has been probably the biggest area of improvement on this Tulane football team, and a lot of the reason why they're 7-4 right now. Guys like Chris Davenport, Julius Wormsley, and some of the other guys that have come in or stepped up this year. That is clearly the biggest difference in this team this year.
High school football state playoffs resuming tonight, quarterfinal and semifinal action depending on which classification you're talking about, and a lot of local teams that still have chances to get to the Superdome in the second week of December.
Yeah, absolutely. 30 games tonight, or 28 tonight, I should say, 2 Saturday. And the one thing we would tell you is obviously follow what's going on here at SportsNola.com. We'll have all the latest. But if you're trying to go to a game tonight, check the schedule because people are playing places that you don't expect them to play this time of year.
Yeah, go to SportsNola.com. We've got it all detailed as to where everyone is playing and the times of those games as well. Saints, of course, will be at Seattle Monday night to take on the Seahawks. Long wait for this one. Great anticipation. Seahawks are favored. Very tough to win there. They don't lose there. They haven't lost there since 2011. If anyone can do it, maybe it's this year's New Orleans Saints.
Maybe so. And the reason why is not necessarily because of Drew Brees and the offense. It's about Rob Ryan's defense as much as anything else. They're a top 5 ranked defense who has done a great job of getting physical with people. And we're going back to Dome Patrol days. The Saints lead the NFL in sacks right now. That's remarkable. Had 5 a week ago against Atlanta. And you're right. It was almost like a mini bye. This week, they got the extra practice on Tuesday, started back to practice full for the Seahawks a regular week on Thursday. So from that, previous Thursday, the game a week ago, on to Monday, it's like 11 days. But keep in mind, the Seahawks had their bye this week, so they've even had more time than the Saints to build up to this one.
And then there's the issue of suspension. Seattle has had a rash of suspensions due to substance abuse or PEDs. Browner's the latest, and this is not the first time he's been there. And Lenny, since 2010, this is 7 officially, and it doesn't count Sherman. So this is a real epidemic in the Seattle organization.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, there's some point does responsibility have to come down somewhere, or are they saying, look, these are adults who are making decisions on their own to do these kind of things. I don't know where the blame lies. Is it with the individual players, or is it with the organization? But the fact of the matter is that's a pretty high number and compared to some of the other things that have happened around the rest of the league.
Of course, follow the New Orleans Pelicans and our regular coverage of the Pelicans here at SportsNola.com as well. Otherwise, it's going to be a fun weekend.
It should be. The Pelicans on the road this weekend. And one other thing, of course, going on in our town this weekend, it's the Bayou Classic, Grambling and Southern. Always a great event in terms of everything that goes on, brings people into our city. And we do tourism better than anyone in the world, perhaps, and they'll be flocking into New Orleans this weekend for that.
Well, it's good for the city. Let's hope that the attendance can either stop where it was or start to go up again, because it slipped in recent years, and that has a lot to do with the programs maybe not being where they used to be. Southern's having a pretty good year. It's been a very rough year for Grambling.
It has. Hopefully some things starting to turn around up there, maybe some things getting addressed. Not a good situation what happened up there a month ago with the players basically walking out, not playing a game. Southern's on their way to the SWAC championship game, though, so it's a good year there. You would expect the Jaguars be the favorite in this game and go on from here to the SWAC title game. But, hey, rivalry situation, you never know what to expect.
Lenny, thanks for the visit. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. We'll see you next week.
That's our First NBC Bank Weekend Preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. For Lenny, I'm Kenny. Have a great weekend. God bless you.